is Starry Ari's ASMR. I am Ari, and today I am set up here in my bathroom, as you can see, because I need to pack my makeup bag for an upcoming trip. And I have actually done this on my channel once before. I think it was maybe like December of last year. And if you watched that video, I honestly don't know how many different products are going to be in this one. My makeup routine doesn't tend to change a ton. I maybe try out some new foundations here or there, but for the most part, my products tend to kind of stay the same. But I have a few changes because last time when I was packing my makeup bag, I was only packing for a road trip, like we were driving, and so I didn't need to think about liquids or like space and all of that stuff. So this time we are actually flying, so I do need to think about that. So that I have today that I'm going to be using. I have this kind of big, like vinyl travel bag. I really like to use this for my makeup when we're traveling because you'll see I tend to bring a decent amount of makeup. I would rather have more than I need than like not enough, but I'm going to try and pare it down this time. So I am going to bring this, and I like something like this because it makes it really easy for me to see where all of my products are in the bag, because when we're traveling I don't really unpack my makeup and toiletries. I kind of keep them in the bags, whereas like my clothes I do like to unpack. So I do like having something clear like this. It just makes it really, really obvious where everything is. And if something spills or breaks, it's really, really easy to clean out. So I am going to use this for my non-liquids. And then, let's see if I can get that to stand up. For my liquids, I'm using a good old quart-size ziploc bag. It actually has a dog fur. So this is just a regular Ziploc bag, and I don't really have anything special for my liquids. I know some people have like fancy travel ones, but this is the one that I'm using. I usually just keep one in my like travel like case, and then I just grab it every time I need it, but the one that I had before was kind of looking a little run down, so I wanted to grab a new one for this trip. So this is what I'm going to put all of my liquids into, and then this is kind of like the rest of my makeup. So the way that I kind of like to do this is go by steps. So I like to think about like, what do I put on first, what's next, and then after that, and like I just kind of proceed with like how I usually do my makeup, and then that way I can be like pretty sure that I've got at least some products for each step. And this is just going to be makeup. I do need to leave a little bit of space in here for my regular toiletries, but I am traveling with my husband and his liquids bag is never full, so we usually, like I can usually put my like contact solution, toothpaste, like all of that other stuff. Usually I can fit that in his, but if I can fit all of it in mine, I would prefer to. So I am going to try and be a little bit careful about what I'm bringing, just thinking about it, just so that I don't have like a ton of stuff while we're traveling around. Alright, so the first thing I usually do is moisturizer, but I'm going to have that in my regular toiletries, and I don't actually have that in its little container yet, so I'm going to leave that for now. But the next thing after my moisturizer, I've really been enjoying dry skin, so a lot of my products are moisturizing or a little on the dewier side. And I love these drops. I think that they play well with like every primer and foundation I've tried, as long as the primer and foundation also go well together. So I've really enjoyed this, but this is kind of a hefty bottle. It doesn't really look like it. It's pretty small, but it's like quite stout. And recently I picked up a little mini version. Isn't that so cute? If it'll focus, but I recently bought some e.l.f. products for my birthday. I decided to treat myself, and I wanted to pick up just a little mini travel size version of these drops because I didn't need to bring the full thing. So I have this cute, adorable little one, and I'm going to open it up because I don't need it to be traveling with the box. There we go. That's so cute. Now this, compared to this, is saving quite a bit of space. So I'm quite glad that I picked this up. And like I said, I know that I absolutely love these drops. I have tried mixing them in with the foundation once, and I think that I messed up because I was using a different primer, and so I don't think that the primer and the foundation were going well together. So I can't actually speak on using these as like a mix-in with your foundation too much, but I do want to mess around with that a little bit more. But I love these for just like a nice dewy glowy finish. I'll wear these on days sometimes when I'm not wearing makeup, because it's pretty rare for me to wear like a full face now, but I do like to have like nice dewy glowy skin. So I'm definitely going to pack these, and since this is a liquid, it's going to need to go in my liquids bag. Just rearranged these bags a little bit. I'm just going to kind of set things in there like that for now, and then at the end, or when I'm also packing my regular toiletries, I'll like reorganize things as I need to. So I've got the Thirst Burst drops, and then after those I do like to do primer. And I usually, if I'm doing a full face, I will use this e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. And I do really like it, but like I said, I usually only use this when I'm doing like a full face with like full foundation and everything. But again, I wanted to see if I could get a slightly smaller version of this, and lo and behold, e.l.f. does have a little travel size version. Isn't it so cute? So this one is the same, it's just that Power Grip Primer. And it is so cute. It's so small. And let me grab the full size to compare it. So this is the full size versus the mini. And I think that this one is so cute. And it saves a lot of space, but I really like this one for, like, it really does grip my makeup really well. I find that my makeup tends to last a lot longer when I use this versus other primers. But I also would like to bring one more primer because, like I'm saying, I do have quite dry skin, and I've recently been playing around with this primer by AOA Studio or Shop Miss A, and this is their Inner Self Hydrating Primer. And this one, with the Thirst Burst drops, just makes my skin look so fresh and hydrated. And sometimes when I will like do a really good skincare routine and my skin looks really great, as soon as I put any foundation on, it just like dries out so much. It like just does not work well for me sometimes. But when I have this primer on, it's just like, it sits so nicely on my skin. It creates like a really nice, almost like a barrier where my skin still looks healthy and like skin when I put foundation on. So I've been really enjoying this one, and I will actually show you, I think, when I get to foundations. I think the foundation that I think works really well with this one. And I do like combining primers sometimes, so for this one I have used the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer, and I usually will do this in like the areas that I tend to get really dry, like my cheeks and my forehead and around my chin, and then I'll usually use the Power Grip Primer for kind of like my T-zone, but I don't really get oily. It's like areas where sometimes makeup can like rub off, or like around my nose sometimes. So I do like combining this one with the other primer, and it works really well, but it's also a liquid, so it does need to go in my liquids bag. And I do have other primers, like I have my e.l.f. Putty Primer. I think most of these are e.l.f. products. This one's really dusty. So this is my Poreless Putty Primer. I do really like this one, and I'm kind of torn because I think this one is like really smooth for me. Like it smoothens out my skin texture. I really like it, but it's kind of like a little bit bulky. And I think with the texture of this one, I think that it would need to go in my liquids bag, because it's almost like a gel product, kind of, I think is maybe what they would consider it. So I'm kind of back and forth. I think that I'll be okay without it. Oh, but then the overpacker in me is like, well, why don't you just bring it? And I think with these three I'll be okay. I think I'm gonna leave this one. And honestly, I don't know how many days I'm even really going to do my makeup. So we're traveling to the East Coast, and the areas we're going to be in are very humid compared to what I am used to, for sure. And even though I'm on the West Coast and like we're kind of known for being rainy a lot of the time, like our summers generally aren't as hot and humid as a lot of other places in the country. So when we travel out east to visit my in-laws on that side of the family, I usually do pretty basic makeup anyways, because I don't want to be a sweaty, melting mess on our trip. So I usually will just do like maybe spot concealing and, mascara, which is a lot of what I do nowadays, like when I'm just popping out to the store or something, if I actually put makeup on, if I care to. But we do have a few kind of event things. So we're like going to New York, my husband and I, just by ourselves for a night, and we are going to like go out to dinner and catch a show. So I want to make sure that I have enough makeup that I can do like a full face. But I also just don't want to pack like all of my makeup. So I think after the primers, I then do my foundation. And the first foundation that's kind of jumping out at me is another AOA Studio product. And this is their Luminous Skin Veil BB Cream. So I guess it's not actually a full foundation. But honestly, the coverage for this on my skin is, I would say maybe even like a medium coverage. I usually only have to do a little bit of spot concealing, really not too much. But I love how this sits on my skin, and it wears really, really well for me. Because sometimes some like Lumi or like glowy, dewy foundations just like melt off your face. This one, I feel like it just like sinks into my skin, and it just looks really, really nice. I really like it. So I am going to bring this one along, which which is, again, a liquid. Honestly, I think the majority of my makeup might be liquids. And then I also have another foundation that is also by AOA Studios. I'm realizing a lot of these products are going to be from the same places. So AOA Studio has this Dewy Blend foundation, and I think it's a little bit more full coverage than the BB cream, and it's a little bit heavier, but I like it for those like full face moments, but it's like not too much, so I do really like this one, and I think I am going to pack this one as well. I wanted to show you, I don't think I'm actually going to pack this one, but this is the e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation, and I'm actually wearing this one right now because I wanted to give it a little bit of a longer test than I had before. So this was a product that I had also recently purchased, so I hadn't really tried it. I didn't have a lot of time to like mess around with it, but the first time I put this on, I hated it. I did not like how it was sitting on my skin at all. I don't actually remember which primer I used with it, but it just looked so dry and cakey, and it was just like not good for me. And then I realized I'd used it with my foundation brush, which I use a decent amount for my other foundations, but I used to primarily use a beauty blender, so I thought, let me try it with a different primer and a beauty blender, and it went so much better. Like, I'm wearing it right now. I wore it out and about today. I really like how it's like kind of wearing on my skin longer term. Like, it's not really caking up like on the corners of my nose or anything. Like, it's looking quite nice, but I think it is a little bit more finicky. Like, I really had to make sure it was really blended well, and I actually think this one is a little bit too light for me. So I am going to leave this one behind, even though I wanted to kind of mess around with it a little bit more. I think that I'm probably not going to have the space, and I think that I'll be okay leaving it behind. And I do have tons of other like foundations and primers, and like I have a lot of makeup, but this is just kind of like, I think, some of my staples and things that I absolutely want to bring. Alright, so after foundation, then I move on to concealer, and this concealer here is the Maybelline Age Rewind or Instant Age Rewind Eraser Multi-Use Concealer. It's a very long name. It's their Age Rewind concealer. As you can see, I'm almost done with this one. This one is almost used up, and it's very dirty. I actually need to clean the inside of the cap, but I like to use this one with a concealer brush. So I will like twist out enough so that it's coming out of the top, and then take my concealer brush and then directly apply it to my face that way, rather than using this actual kind of like messy sponge where it's quite difficult to like precisely place my concealer. But I really like this one for like everyday spot concealing. Like, if I don't really want to wear makeup or foundation or do a full face, I will sometimes just use this on any spots that I have. If I have kind of any discoloration under my eyes, I'll just dab a few little dots of this under and just kind of blend it out. And it blends really nicely. I really, really like it, but it doesn't have a ton of coverage for me. Like, it's like the perfect amount of for everyday coverage, but it's not like a huge full coverage product. So I also want to bring another concealer that I really like. So this is the e.l.f. hydrating camo concealer, and this one is in the shade, I think it's fair beige, yeah, fair beige. And I have actually a few shades of this concealer. I have a shade lighter that works really well for me in the winter, like when I'm my lightest color. And then I actually have one shade that I think is like right around this, but it's just a slightly different undertone. But I think that this one is like my best all-purpose concealer. I think that I could maybe mix the colors and get like a more perfect match, but this one is honestly close enough for me. And when I'm wearing foundation under it, like it blends out great and like looks like it's fine on me. So I am gonna bring this one as kind of my like more full coverage concealer. Okay, and then I think I have a couple of other concealers, but I think that's just what I'm gonna bring for this trip. And then after concealer, I do like to do powder. So this is the AOE Studio Perfect Setting Powder. It's a little bit busted. I accidentally dropped it, but it's only on the outside. It's pretty thick plastic, so it still holds together well, and I still have a little bit of product in there, so I'm trying to use it up before I get a new one. But this one I really like. I think it's a very natural powder for me. It's not too heavy, and I don't use a ton of setting powder just because, as I've said, I'm pretty dry. So this one works well for me, and I do like to do just a little bit of it under my eyes just to help with any creasing for my concealer. I do a little bit around the corners of my nose, and then I do have like natural smile lines that can sometimes crease, and so I do like to put a little bit of powder kind of around the edges and corners of my mouth. So I am going to pack the setting powder, and I do have other setting powders that I like kind of like right around the same amount, but they are a bit bigger. So this is like the smallest one that I have that I think works great, and honestly it's what I use most of the time. So I'm just gonna bring that one. And then after setting powder, I like to do my contour. And I actually use this LA Girls blush, and it's one of their Just Blushing, and it's in the shade Just Because. So this is a perfect contour shade for me because, as you can see, it's not too orange. I have a really hard time finding contour products that aren't just like pure orange on me. Even a lot of bronzers that I think are meant to be warmer, like I have a really hard time finding something more cool tone. And I'd seen on a Reddit thread that it was like somebody talking or asking recommendations for cool toned products, like cool toned contours, and this one came up, and even though it's a blush, it works perfectly for me. It's a perfect contour shade. I really actually enjoy how it looks. It like does seem to warm up my face a tiny bit, but ultimately it's just like doing a contour. So I really like that it looks like a very natural color for my skin tone. So I am going to bring this with and then after I do contour, I do like to use a bronzer, and my bronzer is a bit busted. So this is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and I love this product so much. And if you use this product, you might recognize that this is actually from their old formula. So this is the older packaging. I have had this product for way longer than I should, and I 100% should not still be using it, but I do, and I have hit pan, and so I'm like desperately using the edge because once I realized I probably needed to get a new one, I ordered one and they reformulated it, and the new formula is a lot more powdery, and the color, even though I ordered the same exact color, it looked orange. Like it looked like Cheeto dust on me. And I loved this bronzer because it was, you know, like fairly cool toned. Like it was a very just like natural flush of color. It just warmed up my face really nice. And so I am like desperately clinging to this one. So I am going to bring this with, even though I am worried about its like general packaging. Like it's a little bit busted down here. Like the actual clasp is like really sensitive. So I am worried about this like falling apart in my bag. But I love it. It's my favorite bronzer. I haven't found another bronzer that can replace it yet. And then after bronzer, I do like to do blush, and I am going to bring, I think, 2 blushes. So I have one that's actually quite small, which is perfect. And this is, again, an AOA Studio product. And I love their products. They're so cheap. And a lot of these I've actually used on my wedding makeup when I was like messing around and doing my own wedding makeup. I was playing with a lot of different products, and I just kept coming back to the AOE Studios. So this is their blush, and it is a very pretty, like, dusty rose color, and it works with my skin tone really, really nicely. It just gives a little bit of a natural flush, but I'm not a huge colorful blush person. I usually play it pretty safe with my makeup, so I do like just this very natural shade. I think it works really well with my undertones. So I'm gonna bring this, and then I do have another product. This one is really dirty. Oh my gosh. This is a Pacifica product, I think. Yeah, so this is Pacifica Bronzed Rose. And I actually only use it for the blush. I don't use it for the bronzer contour because it's just too warm for my skin. It doesn't really look like it in this lighting, but when I swatch it, it's just like pure orange on me. But the blush is gorgeous. I absolutely love this blush. It is such a pretty color, and it's almost like the AOE Studio base color, but it has just a little bit of shimmer, and it's actually hard to tell, I think, because I've used so much of it, and it looks like it's just chunks of glitter, but it's not. And it just gives a really nice subtle glow. I don't want huge specks of glitter on my face regularly, so I really like this one. And even though it's kind of like a bigger packaging, I do want to bring it because this is like my go-to blush that I do with every makeup look. It's another one of those products that I am worried about it busting, because this one has already actually busted, and that's partly why it's so dirty everywhere, because this just crumbled one time, but for the most part it's still doing okay. Okay, so after blush, I then will usually do my eyeshadow, because a lot of the time if I'm not doing anything like too big, I will sometimes just use my bronzer and blush as eyeshadow. But for this trip, I am going to bring a few little palettes. So I do have like a magnetic palette that I really like that has a mirror, but it's a little bit bigger. And I recently picked up a few of these little bite-sized eyeshadows from e.l.f. And this one is like a very creamy palette, and then this one is like a very cool-toned, gray-toned palette that I think is perfect for like transitioning to like a going-out look. And this one is an AOA Studio little mini palette, and this was one of their cherry blossom palettes. And it has honestly a lot of the same tones as the cream and sugar bite-sized eyeshadow palette, but I like these shimmers a little bit more, and I like that there are like two slightly different cream shades. So this cream shade is actually like perfect for my all-over base color. So I do want to bring this one as well, and it's so small that it really doesn't take up a lot of space. So I think that I am going to bring all three. This one has two matte colors and then two slightly shimmery like gold. This one is more of a creamy gold. This one's more of like a bronze gold. So I am going to bring all of these as well. I love these little cherry blossoms on here. I think that it is just so adorable and cute. So after my eyeshadow, I usually like to do my brows, and for that I'm going to bring a new brow product, and this is the e.l.f. Instant Lift waterproof brow pencil. And this was another new product that I'd recently gotten, and I wasn't sure if I was going to like it. I thought that the color might be a little bit too dark for my actual hair color, but it worked really well. And the only thing was I did need to work it in a little bit. I felt like I definitely needed the spoolie to like smooth it out. And I'm not a huge fan of brow pencils. I usually like to do my brows with a little bit of powder and a little eyebrow, like a little thin angled brush. And I do want to bring this because it is waterproof, and as I was saying earlier, because we're going to be in such a humid area, I do want to bring this. But I'm also going to bring my usual brow powder, and this, I have no idea what brand it was because I have had it for so long that it has worn off, but I'm pretty sure I got it off of Shop Missy years ago. Another powder product that I probably should not still have. But I really like this tone on me. I think that it is a very nice like brown color that like matches my regular like eyebrows pretty nicely. And I do like to use this to set the pencil a little bit. So I messed around with the pencil a good amount, and even though it's waterproof, I think that I like the powder to just like, it just kind of, I don't know, almost finished it for me. Like, I don't know what it was, but I really liked it. And this is what I use just like casually. I don't usually do my brows, honestly, but if I do, I usually just do a little bit of powder with that little brush and call it good. So I am going to bring this one. So after brows, I like to do my highlighter, and I like something smaller, but I don't. I have this really busted up Ofra highlighter, and I got this, I think, in like an Ipsy bag quite a while ago, but I love the tone on me. I think it's so pretty. It's not too glittery, but it does give a little bit of shimmer if you want it, so I really like that about it. And this is the Ofra Madison Miller collab highlighter in the shade Sea Shimmer. I really like this highlighter. I do just a little bit of it on the tops of my cheekbones and the like underneath my brows on my brow bone, and then I also like to do just a little bit on the inner corners of my eyes. So I love this highlighter. This is the one that I usually gravitate towards. It's such a pretty, like very, very subtle kind of pink, but not really. It's like a gold pink, but it just like works with my skin tone perfectly. So I really like this one. Okay, and then I am actually just realizing that I forgot to grab my eyeshadow primer. So I do sometimes use primer if I'm doing a full face, or if I know that it's going to be really humid or rainy or something and I want my makeup to last. I do like to use this little Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion, and I don't know if they come in bigger sizes, but this is the size that I have, and it's lasted me forever, so this might be a travel size or trial size version, but I really like it. I think that it does really make my eyeshadow last and also just not crease, so I do like it for that. So I'm going to pack this one. I think it needs to go in my liquids bag. And then after, what was I just on? Oh, highlight. I was just on highlight. So I did skip a few steps. I'm kind of mixing up the steps here, but I do sometimes before I do my brows put on my first coat of mascara and then see if I want to do another coat after. And I'm going to bring both of these mascaras. So this is my kind of normal go-to. It's the Lash Paradise by L'Oreal, and I have the regular version and the waterproof version, and I am going to bring both of these. And I think this needs to go in the liquids. Right, let me grab this little bag that has a bunch of products. This is my kind of like, I just throw everything in here type of bag, and then it just sits like in my makeup cupboard. And this has eyeliners, lip pencils, lipsticks, lip glosses. This is only a fraction of the products that I have, but these are like the ones that I gravitate towards the most. So I do want to go through here and select out, like figure out what I want to bring and what I want to leave. And this is also new to me. It's the e.l.f. Lip Oil, Glow Reviver Lip Oil, and this one is in the shade, it's giving guava, and I love this. I think that it is so pretty, and like it gives my lips like a little bit of a glow. I do like the color, but it's pretty sheer, so the color payoff isn't too strong, which I like for lip oil, because it means I can reapply as I need to, or I can just kind of let it fade off and it's not going to look crazy. The only thing I don't really like about this is the applicator is huge. Look at that. That is massive. I think larger than my concealer applicator. And I don't really like that because it disperses so much product. So I honestly use that to just dab it onto my lips. And then I just kind of like rub my lips together. I don't use the applicator to like actually apply it across my lips like I would any other lip product. So that's the only drawback with this one, but I do love it. I'm definitely going to be bringing it, especially for the summer. I think it's just a really nice product. And then, let's see. I have this Maybelline, I believe, product. Yeah, it's a Maybelline. I got this from a CVS. And this is a touch of spice. And it is one of their matte lipsticks. And it's just kind of a perfect, like, rosy color. It's really nice. It's quite natural to me. Like, it's almost like my lip shade, but darker and, like, more evened out. So, I really like this one. I am going to definitely bring that one with. Oh, this one I do really like. This is by M Cosmetics, and it's a liquid lipstick. So I am going to bring this one. Honestly, it's so close. Most of my lip products are like in the same shade range. They're all like dusty rose or mauve or something. Grab some of these pencils. So these are the pencils that I have in there. So I have a few eyeshadow, or not eyeshadow, I have a few eyeliner pencils, and then I have some lip liners. So I think for my eyeliner, I think that I do want to bring both of these. So this one is by Trifle Cosmetics. I think I either was gifted this one or it came in an Ipsy bag and I didn't open it until very recently, and I actually really like it. And it is water resistant, which is quite nice. And then I also have this other, like, this one is more of a liquid, and then this one is like an actual pencil. So I am going to bring both of these, and since this one is a liquid, I am going to put this one in my liquids bag. And then this one is just a regular pencil, so it doesn't necessarily need to be in the liquids bag. And these are some lip liners. I honestly don't really use lip liner a lot. Really the only time that I do is if I'm doing a red lip. So I do think that I am going to bring my red lip pencil. This is the LA Colors Forever Red lip liner pencil. I'm not picky about my lip liner pencils. Like I said, I don't really use them a ton. And then I think the only other one that I maybe want to bring is this one, because it's a good, like, nude for me, and it's like a good, like, I can use it with pretty much any lip combination. So I think I'm just going to bring those, and I'm going to leave these behind. Let's see. So this is another lip oil, and this is the, I think it's Ciate. I don't actually know how to say it. It's their Watermelon Burst Hydrating Lip Oil. This one is so nice. I love how this one smells. Like, it just smells so fresh and like summer, and it's so tiny and adorable that it's really easy for me to fit in like any bag that I'm bringing. So like any handbag. So I'm definitely going to bring this one with me, even though I already have another lip oil. And this one is a lip gloss in Romantic by LCB. I don't actually really know that brand, but I think a lot of my products I got from Ipsy. Ipsy years ago when I had the Ipsy subscription, and then I've just like kept them around. And I do like this lip gloss, but it is a little bit more, I think, glittery than I have been like gravitating towards recently, so I think I'm okay leaving this one behind. This was that nude one. I'm gonna just move things off to the side. Oh, here is my little lip liner pencil or brush, and I do really like this, so I am going to pack that. And this is a color lip gloss by AOA Studio. It's one of their lip pop glosses. This one is in the shade City Girl, and I do really like this one, but honestly I've been gravitating towards just lip oils over color lip glosses, so I think I am okay leaving this one behind. And this one is one of my like go-to red colors, and it is the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink in the shade Groundbreaker. I do really like this red, and I think that it's very flattering. It's coming across a little orangey in the color here, but it's actually a little bit more cool toned, and so I really like it. I think that I, again, can't do warm toned reds. I usually need like a blue undertone, so this one does work really well. I love doing a red lipstick when I'm getting dressed up, so definitely bringing this one. And this is just another liquid lipstick, and this one is by Beauty for Real in the shade All In. I think I'm okay leaving this one as well. And then I just ran and grabbed, because I forgot I had a couple of lip products in one of my other little purses that I don't use very much. And this is a Revlon matte liquid lipstick in color, I think, HD Romance. So I love this red, and I actually forgot that I had it. I think I maybe even like it a little bit more than this one. So I think I'm going to leave this one and take this red instead. Which is nice because it is a little bit smaller. And I do have this clear Pixie lip gloss that I do think is quite nice over my like mauve lipsticks. So I am going to bring this one, even though I just said I didn't really want a lip gloss, because I'm bringing the lip oils. So I think that these are the lip products that I would like to bring. That I might leave this one in my purse, because it's just a good like regular lipstick. I can always just dot on a little bit if I need it. And the rest of these I'm going to put in my liquids bag. Now I also need to pack my makeup brushes and sponges, and I already have 2 of my recently washed sponges in this little like carrying case, and it's so cute, and it keeps them together and they're not like floating around getting dirty in my makeup bag. So I am going to put these in my regular bag. I also wanted to mention this bag is going to have extra space, because usually once we get where we're going, I condense everything. So I put everything that's in this bag in my normal makeup bag, and then once we are getting ready to fly back home, I separate things out again. And for my brushes, I also have this little case, and I have all of my kind of necessary brushes in here, my eyeshadow brushes, my face brushes, they're all in here. And I love this little case because it holds everything. It kind of keeps them secure, keeps them from getting too dirty in my bag. And overall, it's just really nice to kind of keep things organized. And also, once we get where we're going, I don't need to just have my brushes laying everywhere. Like, I can put them back in a nice little case like this. It's such a nice, soft silicone. Just like feels so nice and soft. And I actually think I'm going to put my eyeliner, my lip pencils in here as well, just to kind of keep everything together and a little more organized. Just kind of make it a little bit more full, but that's alright. And the last thing that I do at the end of my makeup routine is setting spray. I have quite a few different setting sprays that I like to use, but I think I'm going to pack my smallest one, and that is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Natural Finish. So I don't have too much in here, but I think it'll be perfectly fine and enough for our trip. But this is the smallest one that I have, and I really like it. It doesn't dry me out too much, but it also doesn't make me like too glowy so that my makeup is melting. I don't really like that because it's a setting spray. So I am going to bring this one with me. The sprayer is a little bit sporadic, like it's not the best nozzle, but like it'll work fine for what I need it to. I am worried about how I'm gonna get this to fit in here though. Let's rearrange this a little bit. Okay, there we go. So I just rearranged everything a little bit, and I honestly could do without some of these products. But again, I would rather have everything that I need than realize that it's not enough. And it doesn't really look like it, but I do actually have a little bit of extra space on the tops here that I could throw my like moisturizer and stuff in here. And then this is what my makeup bag looks like. So it's pretty empty, like it's a lot larger than what it looks like I need. So when I get where we're going, I'm gonna add all of this stuff in here. But at the airport, I just want things to be separated out so that I can very easily just have all of my liquids in one place. Alright. I know this was a very rambly, kind of all over the place video, but I hope that you enjoyed listening to me talk about some of my makeup products. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest